Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. What can I get for you?
I need 2 burgers and fries. I also need a blue recycling bin, and if you have one, throw in a forklift.
Pull up to the second window and we'll see you next crime.
This is True Crime to Go. I am John here with Jamie. I feel like you rehearsed that. You practiced that in your head.
Never in my life have I rehearsed anything. You should know that better than anyone. But these cases, it's a Friday. You know, we're trying to nail down what this BOGO, buy one get one, True Crime to Go is going to be, and I think we're going to have fun on Fridays. Is that okay with you?
I'm all about fun. Why would I ever say no to fun?
I don't know.
It's like too much money. You know,
what's
there's
that
no
mean?
such thing.
Too much. Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, today's cases are pretty fantastic. It's fantastic and fun on a Friday. We're going to go to Huron, Ohio. Small area, population around 7,000 people. It's located at the mouth of the Huron River on Lake Erie and about 50 miles west of Cleveland. Don't get a lot of news from this place. But that all changed around 2:12 in the morning on Wednesday, July 26, 2023. Officers from the Huron Police Department responded to an alarm at Vacation Land Federal Credit Union.
God, if there's ever been the name of a bank that I just think would be awesome, it's that one.
What are we doing?
Vacation Land?
Vacation Land
Take
Federal
all my
Credit.
money.
I don't
FDIC insured.
That can't be like legal. You got to check the Better Business Bureau on that one. So police showed up. They checked the exterior of the building and then they heard something. They heard noises. It was coming from inside the roof area over the drive-through, and they noticed something there that shouldn't be. It was a blue recycling bin right in the middle of the lane of the drive-through, right beneath a roof access door. So what was happening there?
Well, obviously this thing didn't get there by itself, so the officers drew their weapons. They took their positions a safe distance away, and they waited. The access door swung open. A black backpack fell to the ground. Police later determined that it contained several construction tools and tools that could be used for safe cracking. And then the 2 legs appeared, and then a full-grown man in a black and navy jumpsuit, wearing gloves, sunglasses, and a face mask, lowered himself out of that door and dropped right into the recycling bin. His weight pushed through the lid, and the whole thing turned forward. The man was caught, and as he was caught, he said what any caught person would say, "Aw, F." So, yeah, officers rushed in. They took this guy to the ground. I mean, he was already somewhat apprehended by the recycling bin.
He really was. And he had used this originally to climb up inside of that roof access door. His name is Tristan Heidel, and he is the individual that ended up breaking into this bank. He was 27 years old at the time of his arrest, from Huron, Ohio, which is the same city that the bank is in. He was not a transient criminal passing through. He was robbing this Vacation Land bank in his own town. He had chosen to burglarize a place in his own community. A bank whose name he almost certainly had recognized. He probably had a bunch of family who had money there. The recycling bin was also always part of the plan. He was going to pull it around and try to get up into the roof. John, can you tell us a little bit more about Vacation Land? I know you're really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a credit federal union that is in a regional, it's basically a regional bank. It's not a major national bank. It's a credit union, a community credit union. This is, it's a small number of branches that operate in the area. So this particular branch was at 2402 University Drive East, and it has a standard drive-through configuration. This is not the kind of place that you would think of being the next Ocean's movie. Like, this is just small town bank. I can't imagine anything spectacular being in the safe, and certainly not, millions of dollars.
Except just a little bit of cash, I guess. And he had planned to climb in to crack the safe, which I don't know where you learn to crack safes. Is there a safe cracking school out there that I do not know about?
I think you just watch scenes from Oceans 11 and 12 and call it done.
So what he didn't account for was the fact that in a town of 7,000 people at 2 a.m, there's nothing going on. So when he tripped the bank alarm, police arrived within minutes. They got the alarm at 2:12, and they got there fast enough to hear him moving around in the ceiling. Officers parked right beside that recycling bin, and they ended up really just waiting until he fell into their lap. And the way he fell, John, was it's not just like he landed in it and he was good to go, except the police were there. He ended up with like his legs sticking out. Like he was stuck in this. He was really not going to be able to get out easily.
It's very comical. There are some body cam footage that are circulating the internet. And yeah, 10 out of 10, highly recommend you watch.
Yeah, go check that out. He was arrested for this. He was released on $50,000 bond after a court appearance on that Friday. We weren't able to track down the complete history of his case. He did face 3 charges: breaking and entering, possession of criminal tools, and safe cracking, carrying meaningful exposure under Ohio law.
I really think if you watch the video, he had a natural consequence. Just let the guy go.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. And these were tools, but in the act of committing a crime, they become criminal tools, which is a 5th-degree felony.
He is
that means.
a criminal tool.
He is the criminal tool. I think we have the title for this episode. When we get back from the break, we'll talk about another criminal who didn't have it all together.
Fight Night is here, and there's no better place to trade the action than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. The market currently gives Ian Gary a 26% to upset Makhachev, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $360 if he pulls off the upset. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code HOOPS to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
I really, really like the title of this story, and I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I like this one as well. It's like we're going after the Big Ten. We just took down Ohio with a recycling bin. Now we're going after Michigan, all the way up to Ann Arbor, which is the home of the University of Michigan.
A lot of Wolverines up there.
A lot of people. This is a city of about 120,000 people, and that's just a few more people than fit in the football stadium. They can fit almost their entire city in that stadium. It's pretty wild to me. On the evening of Saturday, November 25th, 2023, which they weren't playing football in because they didn't make the playoff. I'm making that up. They may have played. I don't know.
Football season's still going on that weekend.
It is. They found themselves with a bit of a novel law enforcement issue. Somebody had stolen a 35,000-pound construction forklift from outside of a middle school. This individual was found driving it through a residential neighborhood without headlights on. I mean, if you're going to...
I don't even know if they have headlights.
I don't know either. I guess they do just for safety in a warehouse. He was going 15 to 20 miles an hour, and Ann Arbor police were in hot pursuit with their emergency lights on and their sirens blaring behind this forklift, going just a little bit faster than you can run, John.
Well, and I think the most amazing part about this is the person who stole this. This wasn't a construction worker who was down on his luck and had a hard night of drinking. This was a 12-year-old boy.
12 years old.
maybe he even went to that middle school and just saw this forklift and just couldn't fight the urge.
And, he's 12. He's probably just entering middle school. I don't know how things work in Michigan, but that would be about what it's like here. So they chased this 12-year-old boy riding a forklift for like an hour. There were 10 parked cars that were hit. A minivan was pushed into somebody's front yard. Thankfully, no people were injured, and eventually the boy stopped. Now, obviously, we don't have his name. He's 12 years old. But they took him to juvie after this. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
Absolutely. So the Ann Arbor Police Department were left to write a report that has no standard template. I mean, I remember watching an episode of Cops a long time ago where someone stole a tank. How do you write the report on that? I don't know, but I sure would like to.
It's not like you can copy and paste from a previous report and change the details. And this makes, like, this kid's 12. I think a lot about the episode of The Office where Michael wants to use the baler.
Yeah.
And my son just turned 18, and at his job, he is now legally allowed to use the baler. We
That's
talk
awesome.
about that. I don't know if he can handle a forklift, but this 12-year-old, he caused some damage and he got caught, but he managed it for over an hour.
Well, and what's more impressive, I'm going to nerd out a little bit because this is not a normal forklift. The most common forklift are the ones that you like. I mean, it's a pretty small unit, right?
It's just pallet sized.
Yes, but this one is different than that. This has like a boom that is a big arm that you can use to lift all kinds of stuff. So this is a much bigger operation than your standard forklift.
Has like crane capabilities.
Yeah, this thing can lift up to 6,000 pounds, and that boom can extend 36 feet. And like you said earlier, it weighs 35,000 pounds. You think about it's physics, man. You can't, if you're going to lift 6,000 pounds on a boom, you've got to have a lot of weight in the back to keep that thing from tipping over.
I know. That's why I keep a lot of weight in the back, John.
Me too, man. I don't want to be tipping over or landing in trash cans.
Well, like you said, it's not like he's driving a little go-kart with forks on the front of it. This is a situation where it's pretty much the size of actual construction equipment. This is actually the Construction Genie GTH 636.
I think this kid thought
telehandler.
he was on like GTA.
He must have. This is what it reminds me of for sure. And
That's what happens when it takes 10 years to release the newest episode. Kids be stealing forklifts.
I know we're gonna get this kid still in a tank before we get GTA 6. This telehandler, which is a word I knew before today, had been left on the grounds of Forsyth Middle School at 1564 Newport Road in Ann Arbor, presumably in connection with construction work happening at or near the school at the time. Now, here's the key. The key was hidden inside the cab.
That's a good place for it.
And the vehicle was unlocked. Again, this isn't just a cart you jump on. This was an actual construction vehicle. How irresponsible is it of the people that work there to do this? I would think not only, yes, it's out of school, we have to keep the kids safe, but this just made it super easy to steal for anybody, right? And this is a very, very expensive piece of equipment.
Now, granted, it's going to take a large, probably 18-wheeler to move this thing, but you still wouldn't want to leave the keys in this thing all willy-nilly. I'm sure this was probably just an employee who thought nobody's going to mess with this. It's all going to be all right. Things were not all right.
At 6:45 in the evening, there was a report of a juvenile attempting to steal construction equipment from the school. By 6:48, 3 minutes later, they were hot on the trail, traveling southbound Brook Street near Pearl Street. Again, no headlights. And I wonder if this is the kid thinking, this will make it harder to find me, which you're in a giant construction thing, or if he just didn't know how to turn them on. You got a guess?
I mean, you got to give the kid credit. I mean, he drove this thing for over an hour. He did crash into vehicles, but no one was hurt. I'm going to find this kid in a prison somewhere, and I'm going to mentor him if I'm a construction worker. Like, hey, you've already got a bad rap. Why don't you just start smoking and drinking and come to work when you get out of this place.
And he's obviously got at least a little bit of skill to get in there, find the hidden key, to figure out the machines to get that thing going. I wouldn't even know where to get started.
It's not as easy as people think. It's not just a turn a key, you're done. There's sometimes if they turn the gas line off, you got to turn it back on. There's some safety mechanisms that you have to turn off or turn on to get this thing going.
At one point during the pursuit, Ann Arbor officers monitoring the vehicle's forklift attachment can be heard on dash cam audio saying, "He's lowering the hooks. He's lowering the hooks. Don't go for it. Don't go in front of it. He's lowering the hooks." That's pretty dramatic, wasn't it?
What if he would have got one of the cars on the boom, and just picked it up
and just thrown a cop car?
That'd have been pretty awesome.
As
long as nobody was hurt.
Some super villain stuff. He went on down northbound Nixon Road. He crossed the M14 bridge, and he actually got outside the Ann Arbor city limits. He was really en route. So what do you think happened here, John? Do you think he went there with the intent to try to get a piece of equipment, or he was messing around with the big equipment and was like, oh, here's the key. What should I do?
I don't know that there was a lot of forethought. I think he probably was like, there's a piece of equipment. I wonder if I can drive it. Hey, they actually left the keys in it. Let me actually drive it. Oh my God, I'm driving a piece of equipment and now the police are after me.
Can't stop now. I'm already going to juvie. The big shock to me is that he was alone here. Usually that's something me and my friends would go to a place we weren't supposed to be and do things we weren't supposed to do. So we don't know if this was a dare, an interest in heavy equipment. Like I said, we don't have any information about who he is because it was a juvenile proceeding and it's not a part of the public record. But the police report with his name redacted is available, and it is quite the story to be told. I encourage you to go look up this piece of equipment. Again, it's the Construction Genie GTH 636. And just imagine a 12-year-old that you know operating this ginormous construction vehicle.
Guys, that's going to wrap it up on your Friday True Crime to Go with a buy one, get one free. Jamie, I appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been a fun Friday, and we'll be back with more next week. This has been 2 crime stories in 10 minutes or less.
Would you like crime with that?
You've listened to True Crimecast, distributed by Stoveleg Media. Check out stoveleg.com to find out more about your hosts and to find other podcasts to listen to. Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.